What's up, North Coast Church? My name is Rob Morace. I'm the high school pastor at our San Marcos Escondido campus, and I get to be a part of the Christmas story with you this week. And for me, a big part of the story that's always really stuck out is Joseph. For some reason, I always love those characters that maybe don't get talked about a whole lot. And for Joseph, he's somebody that's always kind of just challenged me in my faith. I think one of the hardest parts of Christianity is the unexplainable, right? I know we're supposed to have faith, we're supposed to believe, but there's just some aspects of it that you look at the story of God and you go, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to fully grasp this until I get to heaven. You know what I mean? And the birth of Jesus is one of those that it's one of those that we go to church every Christmas, we hear the story, and you hear of this virgin birth and you go, I don't know if there's anything you could ever tell me to fully make my mind grasp that. And then I think about Joseph, who not only had to hear that and believe it, but he had to hear it and he had to believe it about his own wife. And here's what it says in the story. It says, this is how the birth of Jesus, the Messiah, came about. His mother Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be pregnant through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was faithful. I love that. We're in Matthew chapter 1, if you want to underline that. Matthew chapter 1, verse 19. Because Joseph, her husband, was faithful to the law and yet did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in mind to divorce her quietly. But after he had considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people for their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son. When Joseph woke up, verse 24 is one that I have underlined in my Bible. When Joseph woke up, he did what the angel of the Lord had commanded him, and he took Mary home as his wife. One of the most hard, unexplainable aspects of our faith, believing in a virgin birth, believing that Jesus is the Messiah, this being one of the main things that points to that fact. And yet I look at a man who had to watch his own wife go through this. And in a moment, he definitely had a moment of weakness. He had a moment where he maybe wanted to run away. He didn't want to be a part of it. And yet in that moment, what he heard God speaking to him through an angel was, no, I want you to stay. No, I want you to go through this. No, I know this is going to be tough. It's not going to be necessarily yours. You're going to have to raise it. But this is the faith that I'm calling you to have. And for me in this time of Christmas, Joseph is just one of those people that I like to look at and just go, man, that's what faith looks like. And that's what I want my faith to look like. Faith is hard. Faith doesn't always make sense. Trusting God doesn't always make sense, especially in a season where there's maybe annoying people at your house. There's hard decisions that have to be made. There's hard conversations that had to be had. What does it look like to follow God and trust him and go, I'm still going to do the right thing, although it's hard. I'm still going to do the right thing, although it's difficult. And so if I can encourage you with something over this holiday season, for some of us it is difficult. For some of us it is hard. For some of us our faith is stretched. But what does it still look like to do the right thing in the midst of those moments where it doesn't make sense or it's difficult? I hope that's encouraging for you today, North Coast, and I hope you have a great day and a great Christmas.